আমরা করব জয়। আজকের এপিসোডে আপনাদের সবাইকে স্বাগত। আজকে আমাদের এপিসোডে আমরা ডিসকাস করব how Islam addresses mental health issues. আজকে আমাদের গেস্ট শেখ আবু নোমান তারেক, who not only has a deep religious understanding, but he's also a mental health professional. He has a master's degree in spiritual care and psychotherapy. Sheikh Tariq is an international scholar who is also the Imam of Brantford Mosque. Welcome.
Thank you.
So Imam Tariq, I know that Islam is a complete code of life, and it sees every human being as a full entity. However, we also know that everybody has a combination of different health aspects of health. So can you elaborate on that, please?
Thank you, Julia, এবং নন্দন টিভিকে ধন্যবাদ আজকে এই সুন্দর আয়োজনের জন্য। স্পেশালি ইসলামের দৃষ্টিতে মেন্টাল হেলথ অ্যান্ড ইমোশনাল হেলথ যে বিষয় সেটাকে সাধারণ দর্শকের কাছে নিয়ে আসার জন্য এবং আমাকে এই অপরচুনিটি দেওয়ার জন্য। আপনি ঠিকই বলেছেন, ইসলাম প্রত্যেক হিউম্যান বডিকে, প্রত্যেক হিউম্যান এন্টিটিকে একটা ফুল এন্টিটি হিসেবে দেখে এবং এই আমাদের বডির মধ্যে, আমাদের এই ফুল বিইং এর মধ্যে ভিন্ন ভিন্ন অ্যাসপেক্ট আছে। তার মধ্যে একটা হচ্ছে ফিজিক্যাল হেলথ, ফর ফিজিক্যাল বিইং। Then we do have also spiritual being. We are also a spiritual being. So সেখানে spiritual health. তার পাশাপাশি we have mind. So that means we do have mental health perspective. And also each one of us, we do feel in many ways. So we do have emotional health perspective. So at least 4 types of health, each human body, each human being. So Islamically, in each of us, we do have at least 4 types of health: physical health, spiritual health, mental health, and emotional health. And we need to look after each one of them as our body and our being as amana of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're supposed to look after full being of us. And one of the reasons we need to look after all 4 aspects of health, mental, emotional, and physical and spiritual, because each health impacts others and they're interconnected. So for example, if your emotional health is compromised, but that means your stress level goes high, it may increase your BP, blood pressure. And if your blood pressure is high, that will compromise your physical health. And if you are not emotionally well and you are not physically well, you will not find comfort in spiritual activities like you can do when you're physically healthy and emotionally healthy. So these 4 aspects of health is important to understand and important for every Muslim to look after.
Mm-hmm. So interesting. So how should we maintain these aspects of health?
So now we do understand that each one of us, we do have at least 4 types of health, but each type of health needs maintenance. And if I give you example of physical health, there are at least 4 stages. So for to maintain physical health, we do at least 4 things. Number 1, we all agree living a physically fit life. Physical well-being is important. So our diet, physical exercise, that is healthy physical living. This is number 1. But even though you're maintaining healthy physical well-being, physical life, there will be some situations, some scenarios. Sometimes there will be small cut, headache, some bruises, some bleeding here and there, small things. For those, you don't go to doctor. You don't seek the professional. What you have, each home, each car, each institution, we expect that we should have first aid kit. And what does it do? So you can, if a small cut, you can use the bandage to stop bleeding, or you take the Tylenol. So first aid kit is the second phase. And then there are some times that you feel really sick. That first aid kit will not help. So then you don't sit down and stay home. The wise is he or she who understand when to go and seek the professional help, seeing the family doctor and healthcare professionals. And then healthcare professional, this is the 4th phase. decide when to go to the specialist for further investigation if physical health is really compromised in deeper level. And I claim, and I request all of you, we need to understand this same 4 steps of healthy living for your emotional healthy living. Do something every day to be emotionally healthy, right? From your diet to exercise, everything, every day we need to look after that we do something for our emotional health. And when your emotional health compromised, each one of us, we need to have certain knowledge about first aid for emotional health. So you know how to make emotional bandage, or how to take Tylenol for emotional headache. And know that there will be situation that your first aid kit will not help. So you need to seek the professional help for your emotional health. And many of us, we take 7 years before we see professional help, the help for emotional health. This is not acceptable. So what we are asking, dear brothers and sisters, like whenever you need to see the doctor, you see the doctor for your physical health, for your emotional health. Also, as third step of this, seek the professional counselors. Talk to one of the mental health or emotional health professionals. They will decide to see the specialist, and the specialist may find some disorder in one of you or two of you or some of you, and that will help you to preserve your emotional integrity and mental health well-being. So these 4 steps are very important. Healthy emotional living, emotional first aid, seeking professional help, and professional decide for further investigation.
Wow, I never realized that someone can be mentally sound but emotionally challenged. So how does Islam support it? Can you give us some examples?
So to understand how mental health is different than emotional health, I can take one example from the first revelation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what happened, for the first time Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam received the revelation, first 5 verses of the Quran, famous incident, all of you know, so I will not give you the story. But what happened, if we look at that story from these 4 types of health, we do know Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was receiving the Quran, he was mentally fully sound. He knew what he is accepting. He knew what he is receiving. He remembered everything. So mentally, he was not crazy, he was not insane, he was fully functional. And because he was receiving first time the Quran from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it was a remarkable historic moment, that is spiritually high moment for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So his spiritual health, mental health is good. But we all know at that time, literally his body was shaken. Means his physically he was a little bit compromised because of the extraordinary experience, divine experience he had. So when he was shaking, he went to his wife and said, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, cover me up, cover me up. And when he was covered up with a blanket, and after a few minutes or hours, his physical health was found comfort. So physically he was good now. At that time he said, hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, he said something remarkable to his wife. He says, قَدْ خَشِيتُ عَلَى نَفْسِي, Khadija, I'm afraid of my life. Now, I call it, this is emotional challenge. So he was mentally sound, spiritually sound, physically sound, but emotionally challenged. And at that time, when he was emotionally challenged, first thing what he did not hide it. He was not ashamed of his emotional feeling. He was honest, and he immediately came out. He talked to Khadija, expressed his feelings with his wife. And Khadija radiallahu ta'ala, on the other side, when heard this situation, like physical comfort, she brought the blanket. Now she said, Wallahi la yukhzika Allahu abada. Innaka la tasil al-rahim.